No, it definitely is looking that way. As you said, Infused are a little bit of a mix, and so realistically anything could happen. We could see them go absolutely huge. We could see some issues. The problem for me is always going to be, more so than anything, just their sort of strategic plays, and at the moment it seems like they're lacking any form of strategy, just straight out onto the A site. No real thought, no real feeling. Aaron manages to find himself one, but apart from that, it's going to be just pure domination from XPC. Already managed to find themselves 3 frags, and it's going to be Aaron and Connor left, trying to hold anything they can off, but White's going to be taking down Connor, and Cosmine manages to finish off Aaron, and just like that, it is first round gone to XPC with really no fight.
No, that is definitely true. Sorry guys, just flicking around thinking that the in-game sound might not have been on, but I might have to give that a little crank.
Is it that one?
That's it. Yeah. Let's try and bring it up, but let us know in the chat how things are going with levels, etc. And so our second time of using this setup due to the way that the games have been spread out. But we've seen some really interesting stuff coming through. I mean, in the lower bracket, Bulldogs put in a pretty decent effort knocking UFrag out this whole thing, and nearly did the same thing against Rise as well, which would have been impressive. So, team that you wouldn't have expected, but Cosmine. In the meantime, off a short, gets 2 players straight off the bat. Mighty Max does pick up 1 frag, but he wasn't able to stop Cosmine on his little tear, and he gets his 3rd frag as well with the M4 against the pistol of Mighty Max. So 4-2 it is, and Sement gets a frag on Weber as well. Aaron does pick up 1, going to grab the weapon from it, but also grabs the bomb. Cosmine with his 4th of the round, and it is going to be a 2-0 lead for XPC.
Yeah, 2 rounds with no real hassle. This, though, is going to be Infused's chance to jump back into it, to make something happen, to get themselves excited, because, well, they got that plant in the first round. It means we're going to be seeing AKs and utility coming out already, full head armor on every single player as well. This really is where we actually get the chance to see Infused play, as we're going to be expecting to see them play throughout the rest of Mirage, and it's their first chance to prove themselves to us, or to prove to us that they themselves can put up a fight. If XPC take this one, then it might be a sign of things to come. Obviously, still a little bit early to be calling it, but I don't know. There's always that possibility. At the moment, though, Infused doing a great job of managing to set up a little bit of control there in mid. 3 players holding that one down to perfection. We've also got Aaron over by Ramp and a man in Palace as well in the form of Pulse, making sure that A hit, as and when it comes, is going to be pretty potent. They're going to have a lot of angles to worry about, and it's going to be sort of a test of XPC's abilities to see what they can do. And Cosmine actually going to be starting things off there with a nice little peek through Vent. Manages to pick one up for himself in ladder room. Pulse going to be finding one on the side and a second as well. That's exactly what they needed. Manages to find a couple. Still trying to hold on for his team, though, as 2 of them have already dropped, and it's even trades. They get the plant, but it's still a very worrying start to the round.
Yeah, it sure is, and interesting stuff going on here. Zello putting in some righteous work with a couple of frags. I think they might know where Pulse is coming from, so they're going to try and get in, but Pulse does get 1 on Sement, and a second as well. So Pulse with the 5k, and that puts their first round on the board.
And that is exactly what we needed to see, Mark, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
First round going their way was the first gun round, and it gives them a chance to build a little bit of a run off of it as well. The counter-terrorist economy obviously not in the best place possible, just down to the fact that they didn't have the full 3 rounds to bolster their economy, and it means that we're going to be seeing XPC relegated to pistols, right off the bat into this one, and Mighty Max is going to be starting this round off exactly as he needs to as well. Manages to find the first with a Molotov there into connector, and essentially sets his team up for that success that you just know is going to be coming. This one is all about damage control. This one is all about Infused losing as little as possible while gaining as much as they can in economy. And then we should see a 2-2 scoreline, and where it progresses from there is going to be the interesting part of this game as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, for sure, and Sement on the cross does get 1, and Sexy does as well. He takes down Mighty Max. Connor, though, with a frag on the AK taken down. White team Orpus, let's see if he warms into it. But Sexy, he's got himself an AK. Aaron on the spray down does come in and save his teammates and gets revenge as well, leaving Cosmine last man standing with the AK against Pulse's Orp, the 5k hero from the last round, and Aaron flying the banner of the Lowland Lions. Be interesting to see what develops with them actually going forward. Cosmine gets himself into the window. He's got a play on Pulse. I don't think he's seen Pulse, though, actually, and he does pick up another kill with that AWP in hand. So his kind of fairly even so far, 2-2. You'd expect that this team Infused lot are going to be pretty strong on their T side, arguably stronger with the amount of time that they will be able to put into it with their individual brilliance, if you like. I mean, Weber at one point was thought of as one of the strongest players in the UK and is still right up there. Mighty Max is a player, quite a young player, but has that ability to go and pull something off which is a little bit out of the ordinary. The odd push that you might not expect, for example, can light up a whole team, and be good to see him try and get things going and put up a bit of a battle as Cosmine picks up a frag on Mighty Max, so that's going to help. With 1:30 left to go on the clock, White could have some attention very quickly up in the apps, playing it with an AWP in there, which is a bit of an interesting little position to take that weapon. You would think that might be more towards the mid, maybe CT steps. A little different, but he can play the defensive role if players do then enter the site, and he can do some damage from range potentially. It looks like mid might be where the player's going to be coming from, maybe towards the apartments with 1 minute left to go in this 5th round. 2-2 so far, very evenly matched, finely balanced. Pulse in the mid, and normally you might have an AWPer facing that, just trying to anchor the position, but there isn't, so they're going to get free passage out of there.
Yeah, no, it is something that's going to allow them to get themselves a fair amount of the way towards B, although the smoke connector not going to be playing in Infused favour. They do take a little bit of tag damage, but manage to get through in the end. Unfortunately, as they reach short, Cosmine is there to stop them. Him and Cielo just completely halt that push, make sure they can't get any further, take themselves that 3rd round, and reset the economy of Infused as well, which is something I hadn't even considered. They managed to find themselves 2 rounds, but they don't manage to build up a sufficient bank. You can see there's a little bit of money there on the players. You can see 3,200 on Weber, 4,850 on Pulse, and aside from that, it's going to be basically nothing. So we're just going to be seeing a few pistols into this one. As you can see, a smoke as well picked up on Pulse, but no armor. Really nothing of too much substance to help them push out, and I don't know, I find these rounds interesting, but it's not one that you're really expecting them to win. I want to see what they're going to be doing with it, where they're going to be going with it, and how they're going to be playing off essentially what they can afford to try and make something of this round. And so far it looks like they're just going for a little bit of mid-presence and trying to find those angles that XPC do prefer to push. The issue is once they get set up on them, they still can't find the frags. You can see that there. Cosmine pushes out, faced with 2 players, manages to pick 2 players up before Mighty Max is able to shut them down, and by the time he's done that, 3 of his team are dead, and now he's the last man alive as Hello manages to find that. So, just as it looks like something might happen for Infused, they get completely stopped, and once again we see XPC run away with a round.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of times where it could have panned out slightly differently. Aaron had a play on short and digged around him by some way. It looked like on my screen. Might not have been as bad as it perhaps looked, but yeah, he was well off point with that one. And if you picked up the frag straight away, Mighty Max proved that he could pick up a frag as well, and maybe get into a 5 versus 3 situation, recover a couple of weapons from round about the mid. Then it would have given them some opportunities to work, but doesn't pan out that way, and instead it's XPC taking a 4-2 lead. Buy versus buy on White and Cosmine. Now White has moved himself into the mid. He's got 2 frags with it, and he's not messing around. Very talented AWPer, and something that we saw up against Kaz, especially in the first map, is he's not afraid to make those picks on both sides. So he's going to be a very dangerous prospect on the T side as well, whether it's in mid or whether it's trying to break into the site. And here he is with another one. Chance for one more if Aaron decides he wants to go and step, which would be a very brave move. Against 5 players, the chances of him being able to just sneak and get a plant somewhere is going to be very unlikely. But he might be able to take Sexy down if he goes for this one. Aaron completely blind, and there's a little bit of a battle. Sexy wins the spray down, and it is a clean sweep, a flawless victory for XPC, and they put their 5th round on the board.
Yeah, I was going to say, you could see the potential that maybe Aaron could have won a fight there.
Yeah.
But it just didn't end up happening, and you were talking about bravery peeking out into mid. I'd say that's where you see the thin line between bravery and stupidity coming into effect. Had he peeked out, he would have been as good as dead. White has been just hitting those shots, something you did touch upon. The guy is a monster. He just continues round after round, and as you pointed out there, we saw XPC manage to pick themselves up a clean one. So it's been a clean one followed by 4 players staying alive, followed by a clean one, and their economy is feeling extremely strong as a result. Infused, on the other hand, they're back down to these pistols, and they can't even get it started off right. White comes in with the aggression, takes the angle into underpass with the AWP off the back of a jump peek, and still manages to find himself a frag without losing anything.
Yeah.
No HP, no life, just an easy shot for him, it would seem. And it's throwing a little bit of a spanner in the work for Infused, because what are they going to do? They've lost their position down in mid, and Sexy's going to be taking away even more from those. Weber and Pulse get absolutely decimated. Cosmine comes in as well, and just like that, it's Connor left as the last player alive. It seems that as soon as one drops, the rest fall like dominoes, and Connor unfortunately can't fight back. He had the P250, he got the tag damage done, but 2 versus 1, you know what the outcome's going to be before it's even happened. And that outcome in this case is a 4th round on the board for XPC.
Yeah. Cosmine going absolutely huge, 14-3, nearly 10k in the bank with full weapons, as it's another flawless victory for these guys, and 4 straight on the bounce. And after dropping the first buy versus buy with a force up from Team Infused, and since then it's been pretty much one-way traffic. Weber still waiting to get himself on the scoreboard, but no one from Team Infused doing all that much as far as contribution and frags and that sort of thing. And on Mirage, this is horrible for him, because it's one of those where it doesn't matter what side you're on, if you start getting behind on it, it's a real difficult one to try and get any kind of momentum. For example, if you can't hold a particular site, it's going to get targeted and rushed and the like, and you're up against it. And if you're on T side and you can't get anywhere, for example, Weber goes for the pick, White's got one already, misses the shot on the second play up towards mid, but I'm sure he will not be too afraid to re-peek at some point, unless he gets flashed out there. Zello actually goes down, and Aaron finally gets White out of the window, but Sexy from the fireboxes. Difficult spot to get trapped there, but if they don't know you there, you can pick up one frag, and that seems to be enough. Simon dropping into the window as well. He gets one, taking down Aaron, 3-2.
Yeah, I thought maybe it looked like they had a little bit of a chance, but Semin and Cosmine just completely took that away from them. Now again, Connor, the last man alive, going to be picking up one, but it's not going to be any more. Another round to XPC. This one, granted, a lot closer, but still far from perfect. It is, well, I'd say a little bit painful to see, to be honest. Infused just get picked apart, and even when it looks like they have a little bit of a chance, even when it looks like they have a shred of hope, they can't hold on to it for more than a minute at a time. They need to get something done, and I think this is sort of just watching the difference between a well-drilled team and a team that's essentially a bit of a mix. It's not fun. It's not going to be easy for Infused, but you know what? They might be able to pull something together, and I think it's correct what you pointed out as well. This is the side that we should see that magic on. This is the side where the individual talent is what carries them through, as opposed to being extremely coordinated. And on their CT side, I'm afraid that we might be seeing a little bit of a weaker team. Yeah, I think so. If you're dealing with a team that is, not quite as top draw as XPC, you can easily see Team Infused with the players they've got in this unit just rotating around looking for frags, and then once you've got a couple of those on the board and you're like 3v5 or something, you can then go on and work from it. And they are showing that they can get some frags, do get a plant down as well. Sexy maybe could have stopped that, but instead he's on a little roll trying to take back this site. Flying Silas Semin does manage to get, I don't know. He was getting tagged down though pretty heavy, and Weber with the Deagle managing to do some damage. So Cement, last man standing. He's got 2 players he's got to find over towards the double stack, and the ramp throws off a flash, and that does blind both of them. But this is going to be a tough one. I guess Aaron tries to flick around to Weber, isn't able to pull it off. So 7-3, a glimmer of hope for Team Infused, but they've got to worry about this reset potentially. They'll have to commit big to buy into this one. And that's the thing, 2 rounds early on, then a single solitary round in number 10 is going to be leaving them with a little bit of an issue. As you said, they get reset here. They're back down to, the 2-3k territory, and they might be able to squeeze in one more buy, but after that it's going to be pistols again. And this late in the half, you really don't want to be seeing that going. They need to put in a run here. They need to secure themselves 6 rounds, 7 rounds, that sort of area.
Yep.
And if they don't, if they lose this one, then realistically this map's looking like it might well go the way of XPC. I've not had a chance to watch them too much yet, but if their T side's anything like their CT side, I'm expecting it to be extremely well rehearsed and something quite powerful, to be honest, for this event.
Yeah, from what we saw, they roll on T side, and they're not reckless, but they are aggressive, and they will challenge you, and they will make you, they'll play at their pace. Let's put it that way. And we're not dealing with FM, who are, I'm not sure exactly what happened, were a map down and pretty heavily down in their match as well. And their super slow play style, we've seen that, has pretty much unstuck them. And we could be talking now with them crashed out of the tournament. So having that ability to change it up and play at a quicker pace, especially on T side, is a great thing to have. You can't go and let a team sit on CT side and hold their angles and be passive and just have to defend a a rushed play onto a site with 30 seconds left to go on the clock as Sement is able to take down one. White grabs Weber. Aaron, super crisp AK control, and it's now down to 15 points of health versus 19. 1v1, and the reset could be on. Aaron needs to do something with this, and Sement's dropped all the way back, maybe just hoping that Aaron's going to hunt him down. It's a one-shot kill for either one. I don't think Aaron's watching the angle, and Sement is able to pick it up. The reset comes in, 8-3 for XPC. Grabs an AWP as well, just to further increase the grip on their economy, and it's another one on the board. Reset comes in, and okay, Weber's got 7k, so Infused can buy here, but it's looking treacherous.
Yeah, I mean, you say they can buy. We're still going to be seeing a Galil come out. We're still going to be seeing lacking utility in essence coming out. I mean, it's something to work with. Obviously, they've got 5 smokes, and that's going to be extremely helpful, but if it becomes a drawn-out round, if XPC can hold them off for a fair amount of time, you know, if they use their utility correctly and sort of force Infused to go for something a little bit longer in the tactic book, then they could still find themselves in trouble. Hopefully, we're going to be seeing them come up with something a little bit different in this one, something a little bit new, but for the moment, it seems really like they don't want to push. They're hoping that XPC are going to get caught out. They're hoping they see that aggression you were talking about come out on the CT side as opposed to the T side, and really just try to force the CTs into a corner, because I think at this point in the game they've understood it's going to be difficult for them to push any of these sites. Wherever they go, there's going to be somebody holding the angle, and as White's showing us here, they are going to be able to hit those shots. They are going to be a threat, and even when they whiff one, they're going to be able to come back for more, line them up, and find everybody they need. And I mean, that scene was perfect to describe exactly what I was talking about. You give them a straight push, you just walk towards them.
Yep.
You're going to be having issues. Weber tries to show us that that's the case with Infused as well. Unfortunately, on the T side, it doesn't buy them much, and the one frag he gets is really not going to be enough to mean a huge amount, considering their economy is back in the toilet, and XPC have already got what they need in this half at 9 rounds.
Yeah, and they've got 3 players there, so you got White. Cosmine faces and does end up picking up one frag and throws the misdirection so that White can pick up his AWP frag. But he's also got Zello there ready to go, which is, I mean, it's perfect play. It's not reckless, as they're not floating all around the map. They're just holding their angles, and then they're there on the rotate when they get the information in. They know that there is a big commitment into mid, and even though the short and the mid guys pretty much had it covered, you know, they've had that extra backup ready to come in as well. As we see now a fast play up into the A. Now they've allowed them to have this at least, and you know, let them come through, and the smokes have worked well. But White's managed to take down Pulse straight off the bat, so he's put himself in a nice little position to do some damage. And Aaron, he completely missed Cosmine jumping on top of him. Does get the frag in the end, and you know, that's good information, though. They know where Aaron's going to be coming in from, and it's a little bit difficult. Zello wasn't really aiming for that one, but does get Connor in the meantime. Weber trying to do what he can, but Sexy's got one, and Sexy's also taken down Mighty Max. He's just floating around, and that's far too easy. A 3k, I think that was for Sexy. Not the first time he's done that. He's collecting frags in bunches, gets the defuse as well. Well deserved, and they recover themselves an AWP. So, flawless play from XPC.
Oh, something definitely close to it. I mean, you just brought up the scoreboard with the tab. Look at that. 3 diffusers. One of them was pistol round. 3 rounds the bomb has gone down from Team Infused. And unfortunately, it seems like XPC are on the retakes every time it happens, and they're just bullying these guys now. They are bullying them round after round. Last round, they couldn't get anything done. This round, they're back to the Tech-9s. They're back to the Deagles. They're in another position where getting something done is going to be extremely difficult, and you can assume that they're going to be going for the B hit because that's where most people would go in that situation. The issue is, even with one man there, even with only Sement there, they are holding it so well. He's got that smoke gun. He's waiting for them to roll through, and he's going to be able to pick up at least 3 before they get anything done. The bomb's dropped as well. There's a Molotov on the ground, and it's just more frags raining in. Connor picks up one, but it's all they're going to be getting, as now it's Weber on 9 HP to try and play out the rest of the round for his team, and it's just not going to be happening. Another one on the board for XPC. Another one that realistically we should have at least seen Team Infused make it to the site in, but another one where they're just not given that chance. XPC are sort of on another level at this LAN, it would seem. They came in, they got themselves set up, and they have just taken over.
Yeah, no doubt, and this is next level stuff, and you know, at this rate, trying to look past seeing these guys in the final, well, if they continue this, I mean, this is their map pick, so let's throw that one out there. So you're thinking if they're going to choose it, they're going to be fairly comfortable on their CT side, and you know, from what we've seen, there's nothing putting past them to have some stuff to play, as Cosme nearly going for his So would that have been his third? Yes, it would. Zello cleans up and leaving Mighty Max last man standing. So, yeah, as I say, their map pick, you'd think they'd be half decent on their CT side and have some strats for T. Maybe when we get into the second map, it'll be a little more balanced towards Infused. But, you know, just judging by this, Mirage isn't one of those maps where you only play it once every few weeks or something. This is going to be a regular one in the map pool that you should know like the back of your hand almost, the amount that it gets played. And, you know, and this is kind of worrying signs already for Infused. And Mighty Max, what can he do with this? Well, not a whole lot. He's got plenty of time left on the clock, and he's got the bomb in his hand, but they've pretty much got mid, B, and A locked down. The information's going to come in.
Yeah, I mean, best chance at the moment, I'd say, would be to head over to A, try and deal with Sexy, and then just get the plant, because that's about all he can be expecting. But as I say that, Zello comes through with the AWP, and he sets himself up on a perfect angle. He looks away a little bit now, but he's going to be there, and Mighty Max actually gets spotted out by Sexy as he jumps up to peek through the ladder hole, finds the frag through the wood, and closes the half out 12-3 to XPC. And considering both me and you think that their T side should have been where they had the most power,
yep,
it's worrying signs for what's going to be coming in this half. And I mean, they need to win pistol at this point. It's one of those moments where you realize they need to take the pistol round, because if they don't, it's going to be XPC almost certainly finding themselves on match point right off the bat in this half. And then Team Infused, they'll have 12 rounds to fight it out if they want to take it to overtime, if they want any chance of winning the first map.
Yeah, for sure. A really tough ask. Seven's gone for the Tech 9 armor straight off the bat. See how that one pans out. Bit of extra firepower. Could lead the charge if they want to go and push somewhere. And, you know, I wouldn't put it past XPC to be getting pretty aggressive somewhere, you know, later stages of this. But, you know, they might also go for a split and pick. And Zello might have a frag on Mighty Max, who's pushing. Why would you push? Aaron doing some nice work taking down Cement straight off the bat, but you know, now they've softened up the B and they are going for that one on Marcelo, able to get poles, so he might run into Aaron but jumps away. And oh, what a shot that is from Zello as well. He's got two more players in the kitchen that he can try and make light work of. Will have had the information. They're completely flash working as a unit. Zello picks up his fourth, I believe. Yep, White picking up the fifth frag, and that was far too easy. So going to expect no chance for Team Infused to get a plant and get up the money like they would on T side. They're going to end up having the force to try and stop it from going to 15.
Yeah, they're going to have to. I mean, I'm still just stunned to see how dominant XPC are looking. I mean, you pointed out it's their map pick, but still, it's something special. And this round doesn't look like it's going to be any different. These guys know the gravity of this anti-eco, and they know they've got to take it seriously, so they're doing just that. They're using utility. They were pushing with a little bit of care, all bar Cosmine, but even when one of their players drops, guess what? It's not Infused finding the frag. Instead, it is going to be a team kill coming in. As unfortunate as that is, it doesn't put me in any doubt they're still going to be picking up this round because they're against pistols. Mighty Max, he manages to find one, but it's already a 3 versus 2, and he's going to have to come up huge here if he wants a chance. Does manage to land a headshot crucially. It's just not going to mean a whole lot because Weber is already dead. Zello manages to find himself another. The bomb goes down on the A site, and Mighty Max is left in a position where he has to try and get the defuse if they want the round. With a UMP, and Kevlar, not even head armor, and a single flashbang, and that's just not going to be enough, so he has to let it slide. He has to give up another round, and he essentially, with this round, has to give up match point unless they want to force 2 times in a row and basically make it, we win this next one or we lose the game as a whole. It's just a question of how confident Infused are going to be at that point, really. You can see the merit potentially enforcing this round, because if they don't think they're going to be able to win 12 straight rounds, it's their best bet. But if not, then it means we might see one more gun round, but it might only be one more gun round.
Yeah, exactly. And this is a really tough ask. I mean, how do you deal with this? Do you kind of just give it up and then try and get yourself ready for the next map, or do you play for a bit of pride and make sure that they know that you're not a side to be messed with and you have got some firepower and you are in this? I don't know. I mean, it's almost maybe worth just letting them think that you're a walkover, and then maybe you can steal some early rounds and get yourself into the next map, possibly. But a bit of a risky thing. And Zello, he's going huge again. How many frags is that for him now? Well, that's 3. So he's collecting these in package deals. He's not messing around. 15-3 it is. Team Infused go for their full buy, and they've got to try and stop the might of XPC. And the scary thing is we haven't really seen a full T side from them, and this is going to be over so quick.
Yeah, they've really not even had a chance to stretch their legs in this one, and this is going to be Infused trying to give them that chance, I feel, because right now the game doesn't look like it's going to be going their way ever. It's horrible to say somebody's out of it before the final round is over, but right now it looks like it might just be that way, and two of them pushed Palace and essentially gave up the A site there. They went for that aggression, got Molotov'd in, and XPC just stopped them in their tracks, and they're not giving up now either. Cosmine this time finds himself frags onto Pulse and Weber. Mighty Max, the last player left alive once again, versus 2 with that M4. And it's all on him. He has to make this work. He has to find something, but the bomb's just going to be taken away. And he's Molotov'd in. He can't move around. There's somebody watching CT. There's somebody watching jungle. Where can he go at this point? What can he do? And is he going to be able to get anything done? My guess at the moment is that I doubt it, but right now he's been given a little bit of space to work with, so maybe it is his time. He dumps that smoke down, checks the obvious angle. Here's the man pushing, and if he can find this frag, he's in a decent place, but in the end he can't.